Okay, in this video we're going to look at Bootstrap's grid system. It's really important that you get an understanding of how the grid system works in Bootstrap. When you come to build your website later on in Dreamweaver, you need to understand this concept of the grid. It will make your life much easier when it comes to laying out your web page. Basically, Bootstrap uses a 12-column grid system. What it does is it uses rows, and then each row will contain 12 columns. And you can divide that 12 columns up however you like to fit the design for your website. And in this illustration we've got some examples of how this may work. So if we take this row here, in this row we know that we've got a maximum of 12 columns, and in this particular example it's divided up so that we've got an area which is going to occupy 2 columns, 2 columns, 2 columns, 2 columns, 2 columns, 2 columns. If you add all of those up together, they come to a total of 12. So what does that mean? Well, it might mean that you want to have, in this example, for example, you may want 6 thumbnail images displayed across the page, and you want each of those thumbnail images to occupy this same amount of space. So in this case, each image will take up 2 columns, and that will give us 6 images with equal space awarded to each of those images. Looking at other examples, you may see here that in this row we've got an area over on the left hand side which is going to take up 3 columns. That might be an area for an image or some text. We've then got this central area which we want to be the main part of the website, so we're going to assign that 6 columns. It's going to take up twice as much space as this 3-column section, and then finally we're going to finish that off with another 3-column section, and the 3, the 6 and the 3 mean that we have 12 columns across the page. You may want to have 3 sections across your page in one row, and you may want each one of those 3 sections to take up exactly the same amount of space, and in that case you would assign them 4 columns each, again making the 12, giving you 3 equal sections across the page. Looking at this example here, you can see that you can have 4 columns and 8 columns. It doesn't really matter how you lay it out. The key thing is that 4 and 8 equal 12. If you wanted to split the page up in half, so you wanted 50% of your content on the left, 50% on the right, you would go for a 6-column and 6-column, but you can have any of these combination of layouts. You can even mix it really up. You can go for 2, 3, 4, 3. Again, adding all of those up comes to 12, and that's the key thing. It has to equal 12 columns within your row. So you can divide your content, your layout of your page, according to any of these kind of grid boxes that we've got here. It's just key that it always adds up to 12 columns across a row. And if you want content to take up the entire width of a row, then you simply just assign it the whole 12 columns, which is what's happening in this example here. So this is the grid system that's used in Bootstrap, and it's really important that we understand that content is laid out in rows, and then that content can occupy a certain amount of columns, but no more than 12 columns. And how we divide that 12 columns up will control how content is positioned and laid out across our web page.